Hey everyone, Greta here. This video is for those of us who are trying to move away from the wall and try to find their freestanding inversion, the handstand or the pincha. There are a lot of us, in this situation where we are quite comfortable with the wall behind us. We want to find a freestanding handstand or freestanding pincha, but then we are very fearful of falling, and we feel that if we are able to know how to fall, then we will be able to balance. But guess what? That's not true. Even if you know how to fall, that does not in any way, shape or form would grant you your freestanding handstand or pincha. Because when you are falling, you're basically out of control. What you're fearful of is not about falling. You're scared of losing control. And that's it. So that's why we have trouble finding the balance in the middle of the mats, because we are so used to having the wall behind us to give us that control. And when we want to gain back the control within us, we don't know how to gain that control. We don't know how to get that control back, because we're not in tune with our body, and we think that by knowing how to fall, then somehow that will magically happen. Knowing how to fall is good because it's an escape strategy, it's an escape plan. And knowing how to fall or learning how to fall is kind of like a reassurance that if anything happens, we know how to get out of it. However, there are quite a few circumstances that falling might not even be an option. What if you don't have enough space to fall? What if the body is not ready to fall? Because for pincha and handstand, there's a way to fall, is to fall into a wheel pose or a forearm wheel. What if my lower back isn't ready to take that load? And what if, for handstand, there's another way to exit is cartwheeling out to the side. And what if, I'm in a yoga room setting that the mats are lined up right against one another, that I cannot even bail out to the side? What if? So instead of thinking that by knowing how to fall, it can grant you that freestanding inversion, what you actually want to do is start to practice with the wall, but not using it. You want to find that control within your shoulders. I'm going to show you how. So I'll be demoing a handstand. We can do pincha as well, but handstand is my go-to today. So if this is you in your inversion journey, okay, so with the wall behind me, if I am always doing this and then try to get away from the wall, then you are basically surrendering your control to the wall. You're not really finding that control within you. So this doesn't really matter how much warm-up, how much drills and exercise you do beforehand, but if you are when you're kicking up into your handstand, you're letting the wall stop you instead of trying to find that stillness, find that balance within you before the feet hit the wall, then you're not really working towards a freestanding inversion. Grab a prop. You can use a block, you can fold up a towel or a sweater, whatever, and stick it between your thigh and your belly. This would help you. You actually want to have one leg tucked and one leg pointing up to the sky. That will help you to keep the pelvis on top of the shoulders, trying to find that balance. So here's how it works. So have it here. Move a little bit further away from the wall so you have a bit more space. And instead of throwing yourself up into the air, try to feel this engagement, the thigh to the block. Really hug that thigh in, and then you start to kick. Again, not really trying to throw yourself into the wall and just try to find that balance. For here, you would need to work more in your shoulders. Try to find it. Feel the fingers working and pushing. And finding that balance within you instead of just randomly throwing up. By doing this drill, it forces you to not think about the kicking as much. You think about the base, the stability in the shoulders. So if you're new to this, it might take you a while longer to get used to it, and it might be quite frustrating, but hang tight and you'll be okay. After you become more familiar, more comfortable with this, keep this drill and try to move further away from the wall. So you can actually measure if you want to. You can have your foot right up against the wall, line it up. Maybe, have your hands, where your thighs are. And so if anything happens, or just, tell, kind of like have a mental support that, hey, the wall's still behind me. If anything happens, my foot could still touch the wall, but it's just there as a safety net. Okay? Think about the thigh hugging into the belly. Think about that and kick up. Try it a few times. You might not work in the very first try, but eventually it will. Think about stopping yourself in midair. So whether there's a wall behind us, whether there's no wall, it doesn't matter. And keep practicing this until you feel like, yeah, I got this, no problem. I'm not thinking about the wall behind me anymore because I'm so concentrated on the thigh and the belly, that push, that upper back support, everything. Then eventually, if one day comes that there's absolutely no wall behind you, you are, the mats are lined up right against one another, there's absolutely no space, and you have to do an inversion right in the center of your mat, you still have the confidence to do so. Even with no block, thigh to the belly, kicking up and hold, finding that balance within you. That's it. Don't think about falling. Falling is, when you pass that point of no return, you're gone. Find that balance within you so you don't need to fall. And once you train that, more trust in your body, and that's how that connection, that communication between the mind and the body is created. So that's it for my sharing pod today. Hope it's helpful to you. If you like it, click on that like button, share it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And if you'd like to practice with me, just DM me and I'll get back to you ASAP. Take it easy. Bye-bye.